When you retire, so you can't be doing the exhibition when you young and active. Real fights. You get to do an exhibition when you retire, so you can't be doing the exhibition when you young and active. Real fights. You get to do an exhibition when you retire, so you can't be doing the exhibition when you young and active. Real fights.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, Floyd Mayweather was asked about the exhibition bouts and what he think about active fighters, like his former fighter, 5-time world champion, undefeated 3-division world champion, superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 28 wins by way of knockout, doing exhibition-style fights with YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, who is 12 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 7 wins by way of knockout. And the comparison that Floyd Mayweather is drawing to Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul, saying, they're going to do bigger numbers than Floyd and Conor McGregor, which we all know wasn't a exhibition. It was a real fight. It was just a crossover fight, right? And so Floyd Mayweather says you can do exhibitions when you retire. That's for when you retire. When you young and you active, you supposed to be doing real fights, as you heard. He said you got to be doing real fights. You can't be doing exhibition style fights while you're young and in your prime. Now, to that, many people can say, what difference would it make, right? Because now the Jake Paul fight with Gervonta Tank Davis is no longer viewed as a exhibition. It's now going to be a real fight. Okay? It's going to be 10 3-minute rounds with, now they agreed to doing Jake Paul wearing 10-ounce gloves and Tank Davis wearing 8-ounce gloves. Reason being is because if you don't understand, you don't know, Jake Paul is 6'1" with a 76-inch arm reach and is a cruiserweight at worst, and is naturally a heavyweight, right? His last fight, he fought against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., former world champion, son of a legend, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., and Jake Paul, he weighed in at 199 pounds, okay? So, Jake Paul is huge, and this fight is going to be at 195 pounds, which is cruiserweight, right? Cruiserweight is 200 pounds. It's cruiserweight, right? Tank Davis is 5'4" with a 67-inch arm reach and fights at 135 pounds. They were having an extremely hard time finding a commission that would sanction this fight. Hence the reason why they landed on Florida, who decided to compromise their integrity and allow this to be a real boxing match. It was said that they agreed to 12-ounce gloves, but Jake Paul is now saying that, he wants to do it, with 10-ounce gloves, when Coach Calvin, who trains Tank Davis, pressed Jake Paul yesterday at the press conference why they wearing 12-ounce gloves. And Tank Davis clearly did not want to debate that. He didn't want to argue with that. He's okay with Jake Paul wearing big gloves because he knows Jake Paul can knock him out because he's such a big dude. So Calvin said, why you wearing 12? Why Tank ain't wearing 8? I know he can handle himself, and you wearing 10. Jake Paul immediately responded and said, I would love to do that. Let's do it. And Tank said, oh, it don't matter to me, because Tank don't want to say in front of the world, I want him to be in big gloves, right? So now Jake Paul said, okay, let's do it. I'm going to wear 10s and you wear 8s. That's not good for Tank, right? So now it's going to be a quote-unquote real fight. So people are going to debate that, well, it's not an exhibition, it's a real fight. Well, it's a real fight now because they found one athletic commission that didn't mind compromising their integrity. Las Vegas wouldn't do it. Atlanta wouldn't do it. Georgia wouldn't do it. New York wouldn't do it. Los Angeles wouldn't do it. They couldn't find a legit place to do it. And so guess what? They found Florida. And one can make the case that, hey, listen, it doesn't really matter. Tank Davis going to get $40 million. He's 30 years old. As long as Tank Davis did this, to me, in my opinion, if Tank Davis was going to fight and guarantee a fight with Shakur Stevenson in his next fight, I don't care if Tank did an exhibition stop in the middle of his career. As long as he guaranteed that, oh, all right, I'm fighting Shakur Stevenson after this or Devin Haney, right? But he made it his business and he made it known that those guys are too big for him. Yet he agreed to fight Jake Paul, who is 6'1" with a 76-inch arm reach, cruiserweight, heavyweight / at 195. And let's say they put a 10-pound rehydration. Jake Paul is going to be 205. Let's say it is a rehydration of 10 pounds. He'll be 205. Devin Haney is 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach and fights at 100 now. His first fight coming up in November will be at 147 pounds. Shakur Stevenson is 5'8" with a 67-inch arm reach, 68-inch arm reach, and fights at 135 pounds. You put a catch weight and rehydration clause on Ryan Garcia, who is 5'9", 70-inch arm reach, and fights at 140 and 147 pounds. Even if they rehydrated all of them to 165, added 20 pounds, right? Shakur would be 155. Devin Haney would be 167. Ryan would be 167 based off of them now fighting at 147. 20 pounds. That is still almost 30 pounds lighter. That's 28 pounds lighter than you fighting Jake Paul, who is 6'1". Make this make sense. It doesn't make sense. As long as you're not going to fight those guys and you're making up excuses as to why you're not fighting those guys, that's where the nasty word comes in, period. But as you heard, Floyd Mayweather, let's listen again, right? Floyd Mayweather made the case, and he stated that, you know what, this is not a good look for your career.
You can do an exhibition when you retire. So you can't be doing an exhibition when you're young and active. Real fights.
Because he knows that Tank Davis simply is not going to fight the real fights. If he was, again, like I said, if he was going to fight real fights after this or before this, but he's making up excuses. Why should I fight Shakur? Why should I fight Devin Haney? Well, that tells you everything you need to know. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.